We are back on Dead Doctors Don't Lie with our guest host today, Dr. Peter Glidden, filling in for Dr. Wallach. Welcome back, Dr. Glidden.
Hey, Doug, let's set them up and knock them down.
All right, let's head to Atlanta, Georgia. And Jay, you're on with Dr. Glidden.
Hey, Dr. Glidden. Recently, my wife had some blood work done last week, and the numbers came back that she had a hyperthyroid. And
Hyper?
Interesting.
Hyper.
Pardon?
Hyper.
Is it hyper? Yeah, high thyroid.
All right, very good.
Okay. And it's interesting because I've been listening to your program the whole time, and I think basically we're probably going to answer the question just through what you've been telling your other listeners. But it's interesting because last week, the day after my wife got back, she absolutely refused the radiation. That's what they recommended. And we decided we wanted to go to a natural route. Well, the next day, my friend called me and talked to me about Dr. Wallach, interestingly enough. And anyway, we signed up. We ordered our products. And basically one of the reasons why I'm calling is we just got the products today. Plus, we got the Ocean's Gold and also the Drops of Balance to specifically target her thyroid. And I guess I wanted to ask you if that was the way you would go, and also other than the 90 essentials and giving the body time to heal itself, would you recommend anything else that we could do from a natural standpoint?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. So with an overactive thyroid, she needs to be eating a lot of cruciferous vegetables. She needs to be eating broccoli, cauliflower, eggplant, Brussels sprouts, spinach. She needs to be eating that stuff every day and lots of it because that has naturally occurring plant hormones in them, phytochemicals in them that depress thyroid function, right? So it's a really smart thing to do when you have an overactive thyroid to take a bunch of food into the body that suppresses thyroid function, and that's the easiest way to do it is with the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, eggplant, Brussels sprouts, and spinach, okay? Number one. Number two, she needs to go to a chiropractor, have her neck x-rayed from the side, and make sure the curve in her neck is correct because the nerves that go to her thyroid come out of the neck, and if the curve in her neck is not anatomically correct, the nerve function is going to be messed up going to the thyroid, and so you need to make sure that the neck is structurally sound in order to have optimal thyroid function because if it's not, I don't care how many supplements she takes. I don't care how good her diet is. Her thyroid's going to be funky just because her neck is not on her shoulders properly. So go to a chiropractor, have them check the curve in her neck to make sure it's good. And if it's not, the chiropractor can give her exercises that will, in fact, put the curve back the way that nature intended it to. That's number two. Third thing to do is make sure that you have enough selenium into the program because the thyroid needs three things to function optimally. It needs iodine, selenium, and copper. You can get iodine from using iodized table salt, and that's what she should be using. I don't care if it's sea salt or Himalayan salt or good old-fashioned Morton's iodized table salt. It has to have iodine added to it, all right? So if you use sea salt, make sure it says with iodine or iodized, okay? You have to be using iodized salt with every meal so that, well, not with, puffed rice. But you use salt on food that calls for salt and use iodized salt. Right? And the selenium is appropriate because the selenium, longevity selenium, thank God for Dr. Wallach, provides selenium and copper in the proper ratios, which are two of the three things that the thyroid needs to optimize its function. The recommendation here would be 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. The drops of balance is a good thing. Another good thing to do would be myrrh oil, M-Y-R-R-H, like the wise men, frankincense, and myrrh. Well, myrrh oil painted on top of the thyroid gland will downregulate thyroid function. I would get the myrrh oil and paint it right on top of the thyroid, put a couple drops underneath on my upper lip so then inhale it, take 3 or 4 deep breaths 3-4 times a day with the myrrh oil and immediately before bed. So the recommendation here would be the Healthy Start Pack, appropriate for body weight, the selenium, appropriate for body weight, eliminate the 10 bad foods, increase the cruciferous vegetables into the bargain, and get the neck x-rayed by a chiropractor and make sure it's on the body properly. If she does, and use the myrrh oil, if she does those things, she should notice a steady improvement in thyroid function over time. But remember, we don't treat thyroids, we don't treat knees, we don't treat hearts, we don't treat lungs, we don't treat joints, we treat people. This is not specifically a thyroid problem. This is a holistic program, the intention of which is to support and promote everything in your wife's body to fix itself and optimize its function. So as we're going downstream here, in addition to paying attention to the, whatever the hyperthyroid symptoms are, you also want to see, well, what the heck happens to her sleep and her energy and her appetite and her weight and her aches and pains and everything. Because this is a patently holistic therapeutic, and you should abandon all other therapeutics. Abandon all other therapeutics. Just do this for 90 days. Dial it in, baby. See how it goes, and call us back with a progress report every 4 weeks. Does that sound good, Robin Hood?
It sure does. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Hey, appreciate the call. Keep up the good work. And remember, you are the last best hope your community members have for living long, healthy, and wealthy lives. So help us spread Dr. Wallach's message of health recovery through medical nutrition. It worked for you. Now get out there and pay it forward. Thanks so much for the call.